All right, guys, so Biden is set to announce today that he has reached a tentative deal with Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema in regards to the so-called Build Back Better plan. Now, this deal that has been reached allegedly between Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, and Joe Biden is significantly scaled down from the $3.5 trillion proposal that the progressives want, right? I believe that it's only about 1.7 trillion, which again is still quite a bit. Now, as of right now, the provisions in this bill include universal preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds, which is funded for at least 6 years, subsidized childcare that caps what parents pay at 7% of their income, which is funded for 6 years, 1-year extension of the current child tax credit, expanded tax credit for 10 years for utility and residential clean energy, including electric vehicles, to extend the pandemic-related Affordable Care Act subsidies, and to allow Medicare to cover the cost of hearing. All right. Now, what this bill does not contain is some of the more key progressive priorities like paid federal family and medical leave. And in terms of how it's going to be paid for, if this plan is passed, it will impose a 15% minimum tax on corporate profits by large corporations, adopt a 15% minimum global tax brokered by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and apply a 5% surtax on individual incomes above $10 million, right? There's also some other tax and fundraising things in there, including beefing up the IRS. And they scrapped the part about monitoring bank accounts, except they're trying to rework that to be $10,000 and up, but just for people who make over $400,000 a year or more. At least that's what they say. So this is allegedly what's going to be in this plan that Biden's announced. Now, here is the problem. The problem is that the progressives might not think this goes far enough. They might not necessarily be on board with this, even though Mr. Socialist Sanders helped negotiate it. And up until this point, guys, the progressives have been roasting Kyrsten Sinema, roasting her so hard on this, okay, to try to push her to get on board. And it has went as far as to question her bisexuality, which we're going to get into. But first, let's discuss some of the things that have been happening this week with Kyrsten Sinema, as she's still been harassed in public by lunatic leftists. Take a look.
I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
I think it's
and I'm wondering,
quite interesting.
I know you've met with dozens of lobbyists. I did not touch you. I'm meeting with dozens. I know you're meeting with dozens of lobbyists.
The world doesn't really
and
work
talking
anymore.
with corporate donors about the package.
Yeah, that's obviously.
How many times will you meet with constituents?
Today, well,
How many times have you met with constituents in negotiating Build
Sorry
Back
about
Better?
I think it's part of the course, right? Part of the
So why
course.
won't you meet with my
It's
family, my
interesting.
constituents, and yours? I can have them meet you next week.
Well,
Every single year in Arizona, it's getting hotter and hotter. We're breaking records.
Integrity.
There's either no monsoon
Character.
or it's the
We're gonna go
longest
this way.
season
Yes,
ever.
yes.
Might run into something.
People are suffering. Your constituents are suffering. What are you going to do about climate change?
Yeah, so that's Sinema being followed and questioned in the airport with Senator Tim Scott. And here's a video of her being heckled while she is apparently officiating a wedding out in Arizona. Take a look.
Hey, stop cheering and throw Cinnamon out! She's a corporate shield! Throw her out of that place! Come on now, our future's at stake! Everything's on the line! And you're letting this woman get away with it! Yee-haw. I'm tired of this shit! Stop taking corporate money! Total corruption of our government! Total sellout! Totally unacceptable! Totally unacceptable for you to support it! Yeah, keep laughing! Keep laughing! I'm an Ivy League educated white old man, and I've been destroyed by this economy. And that corruption stems from corporate power. And Sinema is taking corporate money to destroy us all. And climate will do it without her. So wake up! Woo! Lou! Why don't you get married to Donald Trump? Yeah!
Yeah, Exhibit A in terms of why I would never want to be a politician, right? Exhibit A. And if that wasn't enough, there's a whole campaign out in Arizona to primary Kyrsten Sinema. And there's actually an ad from a group that's trying to primary her that uses a whole bunch of MSNBC highlights to basically attack her. Take a look.
My question for Senator Sinema is this. What are you doing here?
According to the Times, the attendees will have 45 minutes with the senator, during which time they are expected to write her checks for thousands of dollars. And then she'll, resume negotiations on the bill they are there to pay her to oppose.
Now she's one of two key Democratic senators holding up the entire Biden agenda. But instead of sticking around to hammer out a deal, she has left the country for a fundraising trip in Europe.
Now progressives are preparing to launch a primary challenge against her.
3 groups that say they're raising money to put up a primary opponent. One of them has some real money.
People from all backgrounds in the political spectrum here in Arizona coming together to say we have to have something better. And if that is going to have to be primarying the first Democrat we are electing in decades, that's what we're going to have to do.
If you don't meet with your constituents and you spend all your time doing everything except talking to them, legislating, all while holding up your party's entire agenda, maybe you don't want to be United States Senator. Maybe it's not the job for you.
Boy, the Democrat infighting is peak entertainment. Peak entertainment. I could just get my popcorn and watch them go at each other's throat all day long. Maybe McConnell was on to something, letting them fight, right? Maybe he was on to something. But what really pissed off the progressives, right? What really got them is Kyrsten Sinema showing up to Congress and sitting in the speaker's chair, I guess that's what it is. Sitting in the chair in Congress with a jean jacket on. Take a look.
The clerk will report the nomination.
Nomination, the judiciary, Sarala Nagala of Connecticut, United States District Judge for the District of Connecticut.
Madam President.
Majority Leader.
Okay, fam, Mama Sinema's got a really important day. She needs to sit at a big desk with a bunch of quills and pens and shit. So we need to make me look profesh. Wonder if they're gonna give me a gavel today. I'm sorry, what in the micro aggro fuck is this? A blazer? If I'm gonna betray the Democrats, I'm gonna slay. Who brought this? Tamanda? Timberly? Tomothy? Tomothy, you're new. We don't do hideous fits like this. And if I see something like this again, no more Magnolia Bakery cupcakes for you. Tamanda gets your cupcake. I think I found it. Hey, Tomothy, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to redeem yourself. I need you to cut the sleeves off of this denim shacket. A shacket, a shirt jacket. Taranda, I can't wear this with the sleeves on or no one's going to see the bracelets that I got in the all-white commune in Thailand. I want people to look at me in Congress and think, is she or is she not about to ride a mechanical bull? I don't think a single one of you know what you stand for. The only one who's not allowed to know what they stand for is me. Yeah, so progressives and liberals that support the Biden agenda really have some strong issues with Kyrsten Sinema. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not the progressives are going to get on board with this plan that they've allegedly agreed on. Her, Bernie Sanders, Joe Manchin, and Joe Biden. We will see. But what really gets me, right? What really gets me is this op-ed that came out on NBC News basically questioning Kyrsten Sinema's bisexuality or her commitment to bisexual Americans. Now, does this sound familiar, guys? Does this sound familiar? Because I talk about this a lot. How if you're black and you don't agree with the Democrat agenda, they question your blackness, right? They question whether or not you're committed to black people, okay? Now, lo and behold, when it comes to Kyrsten Sinema, somebody who is a woman and bisexual, they're now saying, is Kyrsten Sinema bad for bisexual Americans? Bruh, it's almost like I can try to tell you guys, they don't care about the identity politics. Identity politics goes out the window when it comes to getting behind their agenda. They attract you with identity. They don't care if their policies are actually good for your identity or not. But if you don't agree with them, they're going to tell you that, hey, you're not for the identity that they basically try to recruit you based off of, right? They're going to say you're not real, right? You're not a real black person. You're not a real bisexual. You're not really acting in their best interest if you don't agree with us, right? So let's read a little bit of this ridiculous article here. It wasn't that long ago that embattled Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema was hailed as a triumph of bisexual representation. After she was sworn in January 2019,
out celebrated the first openly bisexual senator as a rebuke to Trumpism, positioning the sassy lawmaker in opposition to homophobic then Vice President Mike Pence. I wonder what makes Mike Pence homophobic. Simply because he's trying to follow and adhere to the beliefs in the Bible, right? That makes him homophobic, I guess. But anyways, but just a few years into her tenure, public opinion has soured on Sinema. Instead of a brash bisexual icon willing and able to stand up to the far right, she's now seen as an unreliable centrist, a self-absorbed Democrat turncoat, more fixated on getting attention and lining her own pockets than uplifting her community. No longer a bi icon, she's now held up as a cautionary tale about the limits of representation. Again, if you don't vote for Joe, you ain't really bi. Right? If you don't vote for Joe, you ain't really bisexual. As a bisexual woman and one who, like Sinema, is white and cisgender, I now cringe every time the senator makes the headlines, whether it's fashion columnists dissecting her showy personal style, cartoonists mocking her as a manic pixie dream senator, or the seamlessly endless analysis of her inscrutability. Sinema seems to embody many of the nasty assumptions about bi women I've worked my whole life to avoid. Bi women are constantly told we're untrustworthy, that our attraction to multiple genders means we're more likely to cheat. We're called greedy for finding more than one gender attractive, confusing for liking more than one gender, and self-absorbed because apparently our brains are unable to think about much beyond our own sexual gratification. Within the LGBTQ community, bisexuals can be viewed as fair weather members at best, likely to bail the second we stop having fun. Media outlets might not be talking about Sinema's sex life, but her political reputation as greedy, unreliable, and attention-seeking echoes many of the stereotypes my community has been dealing with for years. Bruh. Okay, I'm not reading the rest of that. You guys can read it if you want, but you guys get the point, right? They're saying, if you don't vote for Joe, are you really bi? Right? Are you really bisexual? I'm surprised there's not an article out there that says, is Kyrsten Sinema bad for women? Right? Is Kyrsten Sinema really a woman? Because she don't want to get on board with Joe Biden's agenda, right? Dude, I am never surprised about the attacks that come from the left when people don't agree with them 100%, right? What happens is they will go at your throat, right? They will go at your throat. They will go at your being, right? Your identity, who you are as a person. They will attack you, okay? Simply for disagreement. But, you know, hey, listen, it seems like they're agreeing to something here. I mean, 1.75 trillion. That's right smack dab in the middle from 3.5 trillion. But it remains to be seen whether or not progressives are going to be satisfied with that. They probably won't, or at the very least, the progressive base won't be satisfied with it. But we'll see. We'll see, because allegedly her, Bernie, Joe Manchin, and Biden have all come to an agreement that seems like it may advance the agenda here, and they may actually get something accomplished. I don't know, but... You know, hey, we'll see. I'm not entirely convinced that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema actually really want to do this. But again, apparently they come to an agreement. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.